Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Sohail and you are watching Arakan Times Daily English News. Today is Wednesday, 20 November 2024. Today's news headlines: Military Council conducted airstrike in northern Mongdo. The Rohingya residential area set ablaze in Mongdo. Khalilur Rahman appointed as high-level representative on Rohingya affairs by Bangladesh interim government. Details of today's news. The military council reportedly conducted airstrikes on the headquarters of the Arakan Army AA and 4 other locations in northern Mongdo Township, Arakan State, Myanmar on November 19 at approximately 3 p.m. A jet fighter and a Y-12 aircraft attacked the headquarters of the Arakan Army AA located in Kinchong village in northern Mongdo Township at around 3:20 p.m. on November 19. The attacks resulted in the deaths of 128 members of the Arakan Army AA and left 205 members seriously injured. The headquarters was attacked and 128 members of the Arakan Army AA were killed while 205 members were seriously wounded. Initially, a jet dropped 7 bombs on the headquarters followed by a Y-12 aircraft, which dropped several more bombs on the headquarters and other locations, a source reported. A resident of Kinchom village said, the injured members of the Arakan Army AA have been transported to Tombu, where the Arakan Army AA sub-headquarters is located. They are receiving treatment there, but the death toll may rise as the injuries are severe. He further added, most of the injured members of the Arakan Army AA will likely be transported to Bangladesh through Naikonsiri Upazila in Bandarban after receiving basic treatment at the sub-headquarters in Tombu for further medical care. Another source stated most parts of the Arakan Army AA headquarters were destroyed in the airstrike, rendering it unusable. The compound now resembles ponds and pools due to the impact of the bombs, and most of the surrounding buildings have collapsed. It has been reported that many Rohingyas detained at the headquarters of the Arakan Army AA in Kinchom village, northern Mongdo, were killed while many others were wounded during the airstrike conducted by the military council. Many Rohingya youths were abducted from several villages by the Arakan Army AA and detained at the headquarters. During the military council's airstrike, many detainees were killed or injured, a source stated. On November 19, at approximately 9:30 a.m., a fire broke out and burnt for a prolonged period in Ward Number 3 of downtown Mongdo, Arakan State, Myanmar. The fire started at around 9:30 a.m. in downtown Mongdo, specifically in Ward Number 3, and it burned for a long time, a source reported. It has been alleged that the fire was deliberately ignited by members of the Arakan Army AA. According to reports, there were no movements by the military council or any other armed groups in that area, except for the Arakan Army AA. It is believed that the Arakan Army AA burnt the Rohingya residential areas because they are unable to take control of Battalion 5, the last remaining battalion of the military council in Mongdo. A source also stated there was no attack near Battalion 5 on November 19, but there are many members of the Arakan Army AA stationed in Rohingya residential villages and wards. They deliberately set the ward on fire to falsely accuse the military council of the act. The Bangladesh interim government's chief advisor Dr. Yunus appointed Professor Khalilur Rahman, founder of West University in Dhaka, as the high-level representative for Rohingya crisis and priorities issues on November 19. Khalilur Rahman, a distinguished diplomat and academic, began his career in the Bangladesh Civil Service (BCS) in 1977. He was the top scorer in the first regular BCS exam held in 1979. He is also a first-class MA graduate from Dhaka University, earning his degree in 1977. His professional highlights include serving as an executive officer at American Express International Bank and representing Bangladesh at various global forums. During his tenure at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, he worked in the South Asian Division before becoming the private secretary to the Foreign Minister. In 1985, before his transfer to the permanent mission of Bangladesh to the United Nations in New York, He represented Bangladesh in the UN General Assembly's Economic and Financial Committee as a spokesperson for the least developed countries LDCs. In 1991, Khalilur Rahman joined the United Nations Secretariat in Geneva as a special advisor at the UN Conference on Trade and Development UNCTAD. He made significant contribution to key UN publications and reports on trade, finance, and development issues. Khalilur Rahman is an alumnus of the Kennedy School of Government and Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, holding an MA in Law and Diplomacy from Tufts University and a PhD in Economics from Harvard University. In 2001, he briefly returned to public service as the private secretary to Justice Latifur Rahman, the late chief advisor to the caretaker government. As the founder of S.West University in Dhaka, Khalilur Rahman continues to serve on its board of governors. Thanks for watching Arakan Times Daily English News.